Consider One Another is a podcast focused on each other. Thank you for tuning in to this podcast that is all about stirring up love and good works in one another. Welcome back to the Season 1 finale of Consider One Another. We are at the end of the year, and perhaps the biggest cliffhanger in Consider One Another history. Lee and Leroy Horton are here with me once again. Everyone knows the tales of the technical issues that I had the first time. They were so kind to interview with me the first time, and now they're back a second time, and there's a certain piece of information I know people are really excited to hear about. But first, thank you guys so much for being here. It really means a lot to me.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you very much.
It's going to be really good. And like I said, it is the Season 1 finale. So we're going to go on pause for the last couple weeks of the year as people are out of town, and then we'll resume back in 2026. But I do want to send a special thank you to everyone, including you guys right here who've been so kind and encouraging to me as I work on this new effort. I do think it's been successful, and people have learned more about each other and learning new things by asking new questions. I know I've certainly learned a lot just by doing these. And so because this is our second time doing it with the Hortons, I kind of know what's coming. So I'm not going to fall for Leroy's tricks this time. He'll trick you. He'll make a joke that you think he's serious about. So I'm not falling for the TV remote trick this time. Before we get to all that, we always want to start with Scripture. So Lee and Leroy, I'm just going to read 1 Peter 4. I'm going to read verses 7 through 11. I'll just read the Scripture, and then you guys share any thoughts that you have. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay, 1 Peter 4, verse 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Therefore, be serious and watchful in your prayers. And above all things, have fervent love for one another, for love will cover a multitude of sins. Be hospitable to one another without grumbling. As each one has received a gift, minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God. Verse 11. If anyone speaks, let him speak as the oracles of God. If anyone ministers, let him do it as with the ability which God supplies, that in all things God may be glorified through Jesus Christ, to whom belong the glory and the dominion forever and ever. Amen.
My thought is, I always felt like I didn't really have any gifts to offer for God.
Okay.
But now I keep thinking, or being told actually, yes, just giving your time, whether it's babysitting an evening or whatever you can do, you know. If they were painting the building, I'd be the first one with my hand up.
Oh.
So
Literally.
We'll remember that. Yeah. With the brush.
Everybody does have different talents.
Yeah.
And so I'm not a great speaker by any means, but maybe just helping out wherever I can.
I love that. Often the barrier to doing anything is thinking, oh, well, that's not me. I can't do that. I don't even know what talent I could contribute. And I like that you just pointed out time. Okay, anywhere I can spend my time is going to be helpful. So I'm always quick to point out, just showing up. Just showing up is huge. And you guys are so big on showing up. We also spend a lot of time with May, right?
Yeah.
How often do you guys have May?
We have her one day a week, and then if we can, we'll have her here and there, scattered on weekends.
But one day for sure.
Well, that just in reverse order. That's May doing stuff for us.
Oh, right.
That is so true, isn't it?
May is generous with her time as well.
She
yes,
is.
she is.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart. Yeah.
And Livy is coming up, starting in January.
Oh, like you'll have her for a day or something like that?
Yeah, I'll have both of the girls for a day. So I'm very excited. So this old lady will come home tired. And I will just love every minute of it.
Yeah.
I will feel bad for Leroy because I can't bring both the girls home to our house, so he won't get to visit with the girls so much.
Oh,
but
it'll be you going to them.
yeah, exactly.
Oh,
It'll
interesting.
be good.
You know, in a way, it's kind of good for me too, because then when she gets home, she's too tired to give orders.
Yeah. She'll be done with giving orders for the day. I just like to think that these girls, these young babies in our congregation right now, are just going to grow up and be best friends. So
Yes.
thinking about Livy and May just being together makes me
Yeah.
really happy. Oh, that's going to be a special time. What does May call you guys? Does she have names for you guys?
He's
She calls me Dandol.
Dana. And I'm Nana. Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Our grandson. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Grandson Tyler. He named me that when he just first was able to mumble words. You know.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so your grandson Tyler years ago started that, and so you kind of let May use that one as well.
Yeah, I became Dandol through
The neighborhood.
Right.
neighborhood.
Okay, so not just grandson, but anyone.
Yeah, the family back in the other part of the world, you know.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. On these, when I produce captions for them, there's certain words I'm like, wait, how do I spell that? How do you spell that word? Dandolf?
Yeah, Dandaw.
Oh, okay, Dandolf. Gotcha.
Yeah, I had
Oh, that's sweet.
the daughter Melanie. She bought me a personalized license plate, and that's what it was on it. And,
Oh, interesting.
I was parked in the parking lot one day at work. One of the coworkers came in and said, "Okay, what does it mean?" I said, "What?" I said, "Your license plate." I've tried to think of, you know how you do.
Yeah,
try to-
acronym or.
And I said, "That's a 2-year-old or 3-year-old for grandpa."
Yeah. Right, have like a cool code name or something.
Yeah.
But it is a cool name. And that's just so special that you adopt that name to not just your own grandson, but to anyone who wants that relationship with you. And May and Livy and anyone of this congregation, future babies, who knows, are all going to have a very special relationship that leaves you tired. And I like that you mentioned, you said this lady's going to come home tired. It's joyful work, but it's work.
Super joyful.
But it's work for
And
sure.
when they start running around, that's when I'll be tired.
And May's starting to run around, so
She is.
she'll keep you busy. But it can be tiring to do works, even that you enjoy. So one work that I really want to point out that you guys are so good at doing is hosting. When I look at verse 9, it makes it real clear. Be hospitable to one another without grumbling. And I think about the fall festival that we had, the chili cook-off. That was so fun at your guys' house. Leroy was out there serving chili with his one arm. I think about our welcome potluck. We heard about this welcome potluck that was happening before we really even knew you guys. But you guys stepped up. Okay, we want to welcome Will and Juliana. And so you said, well, we can open up our home. We can give our time. And that just means so much to us. So thank you for being examples in hospitality.
Well, I'm glad we got a place big enough. Basically, what sets our house apart from others that do host this kind of stuff too is the parking.
Okay, that is true.
Parking for 75.
It's right. And the wedding venue is going to come. We're going to go into business together. You could get a whole wedding party there.
I heard something about that.
Yeah, we're making it happen.
I have good plans.
Yeah, but thank you for using that for us, because there are legitimate opportunities like weddings that you could go into to make yourselves money. But when you host a potluck, that is just for your own hospitality and giving. So thank you for giving so much to this church. You've told me a little bit about how Leroy had done so much work on the house to get it where it is now. You told me it didn't always look the way it looks now.
Oh, no.
But tell me about that process, when you bought it and how you got it to where it is now.
She cracked the whip.
I wish you could see her face right now. She did not like that.
I was working I was working, and he was scanning the internet looking for a house that would be a good fit for, we had multi-generations, you know, so, but we wanted some separation, yet we wanted to be able to help out when help was needed. So
Right.
that house worked perfect, but it was full of holes. The ceilings were full of holes. The walls were full of holes. There was no trees except for the big cedar trees that are natural. It was a mess. It was a real mess.
Huh.
And he's just very, very talented. And the more I let go and let him, the more creative he gets.
Oh,
And
right.
Yes, it's wonderful to watch what he comes up with.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
created so many messes that I can't even tell you. You know, there was a lot of shrubs and stuff, and there was a few trees, but for one reason or another, you know, they were small trees.
Yes.
They weren't the big ones like what we got now. Some of them just died. Some of them got blown over by windstorms. Our monkey tree just went away.
Oh.
Yeah,
it did.
it died.
Sad
So
about that.
it died. Started about 1.5 years, 2 years ago.
And then it
Finally-
really died with your tractor.
Finally croaked. So yeah, I finally dug it out.
Took it out completely.
Yeah. So yeah.
But you made it, yeah, this whole house into something really cool.
Yeah.
So you saw it on the internet, and you saw a blank canvas you could work with, or how'd you know it would work?
Yeah, kind of. I was retired, and she was still working, so I was looking, and I found this place. It didn't make sense to me because it had a upstairs fireplace, and you go down the stairs and look, and there's a fireplace. And I thought, wait a minute, got to have two fireplaces. Right. She said, no, I think it's the same one. I said, no, the decor is totally different and everything. So anyway, it wasn't on the market as far as no street signs. It just
street signs.
was on Redfin, I think it was.
Okay, yeah, Redfin.
So we called our realtor and set up an appointment. And we went over and looked at it. And I said, yeah, there's a lot of. I can be busy here, you know.
Okay, and that's what you wanted.
That's what I wanted. Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Enough area that I could play outside with doing this, that, and stuff to do inside. And
it's for like every dime we had just to get into it.
Oh,
so it's like everything.
It's a big leap.
Yeah, everything had to come like out of pocket. You know, we didn't want to go into debt, and it's like, well, we're not going to get the kitchen this year, but it took us 50 gallons of paint. It was that bad. It was really bad.
But
wow.
One thing we had in our favor though is we had sold one home, and I had a nest egg there. Mm-hmm. And that's what we bought the place with. Mm-hmm. And then, but we also in the previous years had purchased another home for Melanie and Tyler.
Oh, wow.
So we got moved in there, then we parted with that house and was able to afford to be able to do what we needed to do.
Yeah, okay. And that is a labor of love, what you're describing there. You knew the work was coming, and even kind of a leap of faith there to put all that into this house. And now I look at it, and what just comes flooding to me is all these good memories that I have at your guys' house, and I've only been here for less than 6 months, so it's such a blessing that you guys have provided there. Even like hosting the young adult prayer night, it was so cozy in there, and we loved it. It just feels like home to us, and you guys just make people feel at home in your home, which is exactly what 1 Peter 4 is talking about. Since the last time we recorded, my way I was trying to get people excited about the podcast is I told them, I said, did you know that Lee and Leroy are not their actual names? And they said, well, what's their names? And I said, you got to listen. And then we said it was going to come the next week, the week after that, and here we are. So here it is, the season finale. Lee and Leroy are not your actual names. What are your actual names?
Her name
is Elvina.
I had to think about it. Yeah.
Norwegian.
Well, I was trying to figure out, okay, how do I put this in a scrappy way?
Am I allowed to? Yeah.
Mine is Willis.
Right, Willis.
Of course, Willis is actually was given to me by my mom and dad. You know, Willis was his first name as well. But now, she had got
my mother's first name. But
yeah.
My middle name is a nickname that my sisters call me.
Is that Lee or something else? That's Lee.
Short for alley-oop. That's an old song from the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they just shortened it to Lee.
To Lee, not alley-oop.
I didn't get to stay alley-oop. By the time I was 5, I think I outgrew that one.
But for a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
that's sweet.
I think Mina still, in a way, calls you that Lily. It's Allie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's sweet too.
So, yeah.
And I remember the way I found this out is I was asking about how you guys met. I was like, was the names and the similarities of Lee and Leroy anything that brought you together? And then we uncovered the Willis and Elvina.
Uncovered the truth.
Uncovered the truth, yeah, exactly. That's what the people want to know. Please tell me how long you guys have been married and what it was like when you guys first met and how you ended up together.
Well, we got married in '82, so it's been 43 years.
Nice.
And good years.
Good years. Good. Yes. Yeah. She looked at him.
Did you see how she was looking at me?
Yep.
It's a good thing I turned my head and looked.
Good years.
It was a blind date, actually.
Wow.
Yeah, his cousin and my friend, and they were having coffee.
Huh.
So we couldn't go out. People thought I would never date again, but so they were hooking me up with these blind dates, and so it was like May Day, Memorial Day weekend, and yeah, and I had 2 blind dates, one for Friday and one for Saturday, and then he called and asked for Sunday, but I enjoyed the conversation so much with him. He was so lighthearted, but there's just something sincere about the guy. And so I called the other two people and I said, dude, I can't go out with you. You know, I'm sorry. And I never went out with anybody else. I was like, yep, this guy is it. Yeah.
Well, I was reading from a script that I had printed.
Hey, that's just preparation. That's okay.
There you go. Yeah.
But it is charming, and you never look back.
Yeah, and we've had some our dating time, you know.
It was short.
Yeah.
Our dating time was short.
4 months.
Well, 3 months we started making wedding plans, but we worked so much that we couldn't get married until we were dating for 5 months. So we couldn't get.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just working, making money, doing what you had to.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
Trying to survive.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got time to get married. And where were you living at that time?
We were in Del City, Oklahoma, just
Okay.
a little suburb outside of Oklahoma City.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
And is that where you met too?
Yeah.
Okay. Oklahoma, meet there, get married. Then what ended up bringing you out to Washington? How'd you end up here?
She wanted to come home, and yeah, I'd been
This
up
is
there on
home
vacation.
for you.
And liked it.
Camino Island.
And she
Oh,
decided,
right.
she decided she wanted to come back home, and I could either come with her or just commute.
to Oklahoma.
But no, it's been some good years up here.
Okay. How long have you been up here?
Moved up here in 1990.
Okay. Gotcha. So most of your marriage.
About 35 years.
July or August?
August, 1st of August, in 1990.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah.
35 years.
Okay, there it is. 35 years. Pretty good years, says Leroy.
Wet ones, but
Yeah, wetter here than Oklahoma, I would imagine.
Yes.
yeah. When I first came up here, the rains weren't near what they are now.
Really?
But for the rains now seem to be more like what I used to get in Oklahoma. It's a deluge, you know. Heard of toad stranglers, raining frogs.
Yeah, look out.
Yeah. But yeah, they're quite a bit heavier than they used to be. The best I can remember, anyway.
No, that makes sense. And people keep saying that. They warned us about like this misty rain that would happen, and every rain we've had this season, people say it's not usually like this. This is more than it's usually. I'm like, well, it's been
Sounds familiar. Huh?
that's 6
Oh, yeah.
times. Yeah.
Sounds familiar. When we first come out here and moved out here, it was foothills of Stevens Pass. On this side, a little town called Bering. Her folks had a cabin there, so we moved in there and rented it from them.
Cool.
While they were back east, and she kept telling me, "Yeah, it don't get hot, and blah blah blah." And got up here, and there's foothills of it was over 100 degrees. And I thought,
so hot.
she said, "Honest, it don't do that normally." I said, "Yeah, you know."
It's not like that. Yeah.
Same way with the
Oklahoma,
rain
killer.
thing, you know.
Yeah, Oklahoma has hot summers and lots of ice storms in the winter, and
It's both hot and cold.
serious. And buggy.
In the wintertime, it can start hailing and sleeting, and you can get the power lines are this big around, can become that big around.
The ice just goes all around. It just keeps freezing.
Yeah.
So he said, "I'm going home to Washington."
Yeah.
That's not really what I said, but that's okay. I'll let him remember it.
I use that line.
His version, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you moved with her. What was the work that you were doing in Oklahoma? I think you told me it was with oil, right? Or
Yeah, it was a petroleum industry. We were building underground storage systems for gasoline, like 7-Eleven.
Loves
Texaco.
truck stops.
Huh?
Loves truck stops.
oh, loves, nice.
Yeah,
Big
yeah.
deal.
The first one that was built was at Whitaker Road and I-40 in San Antonio or Amarillo, and I was involved in building that one, the very first one.
Wow, good for you.
Which is no feather in my cap. Now they're all over the place.
But it's something.
Yeah, so, but yeah, that's what I was doing then, and I was always gone, you know.
Yeah.
So it.
Just traveling for wherever they needed work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me and one other person, actually my cousin, you know, we would go out and spend a week or 2 or 3 and put it all together, then go to the next one. So.
Okay, that's a long time away. Because I was wondering how that work transferred from Oklahoma up to Washington. So you were able to keep the same job or a similar job, or what'd you do up
No,
here?
I come up here. I stayed in construction for a while, but I worked for Stan Palmer, I was building highways, parking lots, pressure or forced main sewers, just a lot of dirt work.
Yeah. Okay. Dirt work, hard work.
Dirt work, piping, stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And I finally quit doing that and went to work for the contractor at the bases. So,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Okay.
Much easier on me, and I liked the job better because it was cleaner.
Well, less dirt.
Yeah.
Less dirt. Okay. And then Lee, you were working during this time as well. What was your career in, or what sort of things?
I was a meat wrapper for 24 years.
Wow.
Safeway and Fred Meyer.
Uh-huh.
Wrap as fast as you can. And then I was tired of never having any holidays with him or weekends with
Yeah.
my family. So I went to work for a subcontractor also, and as a warehouse manager, and then I just retired with 19 years with them. So,
Wow.
yeah, well, I retired for a year now. So I just saw them today.
Oh, that's sweet.
I worked with such a wonderful crew, didn't I? And I had good people that worked for me over the years, and I worked with great people, and they were just great. And so it was fun to go in and say hello and tell them how grateful I was to get to work with such a good team.
Yeah.
And how super grateful I am that I don't have to work with them anymore.
Great for what you did have.
Yeah, oh,
Now it's
very,
over.
very, yeah.
That makes all the difference.
Yeah, it
The
does.
people you're working for.
It does.
Oh, I wanted to know this. So you've been up in Washington for a while, but you've been here for a while now too. But I wanted to know what brought you to the Bremerton Church of Christ, and what was that like?
Well, we actually we searched the area. We tried many different churches, even different religious.
Okay,
Not
just seeing,
Churches of Christ only.
just seeing what's out there. Okay,
Not
yeah.
denominational
And
stuff.
we'd come here, and then we'd go somewhere else, and we'd come back here, and finally, pretty soon, we decided that this was where you needed to be, because it was teaching the truth more than the other ones. You know, when you can partake of the communion. At that time, I wasn't. Neither one of us was. But
Interesting.
but when they only offer it once a month,
Right.
you know, that's not right. I knew better than that. But, so I said, okay. So when we came here and then came back and keep coming back, and we just discovered that this is where we ought to be.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found that.
We are too. We had dropped out of church altogether for
Wow.
years. We were very active, and then we dropped out when we moved back up here in '90. And it gets so easy when you miss it, and you live way up in the mountains. And it was like were we an hour away from Monroe or so?
It depends on whether it's the summer or the
The
winter.
closest,
Right.
which was the closest Church of Christ, and yeah. Anyway, so we had dropped out. Well, his family is steeped in Church of Christ and in the love of God, and
Yeah.
they did not give up, and they were praying, and they'd come visit us, and they want to come to church, and so that huge empty hole just got even more empty as we realize and remember how much we love the familyness
Right.
of being Christian family. And every time we get here, that guy, that Dan May, would open his mouth and he would preach good stuff. And I'm like, we both agreed, we have to go there because we need meat. We don't need this baby food milk anymore. And
Nice.
we really need this. And that was what the Bremerton gave.
That's
and
awesome.
still gives. We feel that way.
You know, there was
firm about that.
there's only one other preacher in all of our
Yeah.
roamings around, you know.
And all the Romans. Okay.
Yeah, it was. It's even close to the sermons that Dan produces. I don't know Dan may know the guy. He's passed on now. God rest his soul. He was a really good preacher. His name was Phil Arnold.
Phil Arnold. Where did he preach?
Well, he started in California, down in Southern California somewhere. I'm not sure where. Maybe around San Diego. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But then where we ran into him was South 84th Street Church of Christ in Oklahoma City.
Oh,
So yeah,
He was
84th
wonderful.
Street.
84th Street. Yeah.
84th Street.
Interesting.
He was really wonderful.
Yeah, he was. He was really. His heart was really in it. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah.
And he was young. He was young, and he knew how to deliver to people in a way that pierced their heart and made it something tangible to you. You know, this knowledge is something that you're going to be able to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah, tangible, but meaty. It's not
Yeah.
just a self-help sermon, but it's
Right.
meaty, but it's applicable.
Yeah.
So you went to the 84th Street Church of Christ in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Now-
He was raised in a church.
Right.
I was like, maybe we're Presbyterian, and then we move again, and maybe.
Yeah,
and
kind
my
of finding
dad was
it.
atheist, so it was like flip flop. But while we were dating, or after we got married, he'd be packing his bags to leave again, and he'd say, I said, well, I don't understand why they don't have music. And he would leave me with a question for the week. And he'd say, go ahead, Lee, look up musical instruments in the Bible and see what you find. I was so excited. I found all these musical instruments, and he's like, they're all in the Old Testament, right? And I
Right.
said, yeah, look.
Here it is. Yeah.
I'm showing him, and he's like, well, let me tell you about what happened in the New Testament. So Leroy taught. He really taught me. And whereas I wasn't baptized or anything like that except when I was a baby. So, you know, I really grew a lot just listening to his question that he'd leave me for the week.
Well, she was an excellent listener.
He says, knock and he shall answer, you know. And I just had to ask a question, and then Leroy would point me into a direction or give me a question, or, you know, I'd like, why can't we play musical instruments? And he'd say, well, where can you find musical instruments in the Bible? You know.
I love that way of teaching, because oftentimes with disagreements like this, it's easy to want to just tell. Be like, that's how it is, and that's it. But instead, even while he was departing, he would say, well, here's a question. You go find out. You go find out. If I'm wrong, you'll be able to show me. But instead, you found out for yourself. And when we're trying to have hard conversations like this, it's really never about convincing someone. It's about teaching and learning together. So that's beautiful that you guys found that. I'm so glad you found it here. This probably won't make it in the podcast, but I know people at the 84th Street Church of Christ.
Oh, you did?
Good friends of mine. They're obviously generations after when you would be there. But, you know, in Florida, people...
And we may know her grandparents or
Yeah.
something.
Maybe, but now that church is still working and making good young disciples and making Christians come all the way out to Florida. So that was just a cool connection to me. I'm glad you found that there and have found it here. When was it that this kind of roaming around and searching happened, when you found it here in Bremerton?
Oh, gee, I don't really remember.
I think really we got serious about 8 years ago, where we said, okay, we really have to get serious.
Yeah.
And,
Good for you. That's a hard one to make, and it's one that I'm very curious about, because you said we loved it. You have fond memories of 84th Street in Oklahoma. You said you loved being part of the church, but then it just naturally, you lived in the mountains and it kind of slowly faded, and people kept reaching out to you. And I think about people that I know who have gone through a similar story, I get so scared of reaching out because I don't want to bug them or think that I'm judging them. So how was it that these people reached out to you, that it was effective, or what was not effective? What was the good, what was the bad of people reaching out to y'all?
Well, I think the biggest thing that helped was, so we were gone for such a long time, and the longer you're gone, the harder it is to get back. So it was for me anyway.
No, that totally makes sense.
But, you know, when they would come up to visit, then, like she was saying,
From Oklahoma.
she wants to go to church. They want to go to church. So that got us back into the thinking about it and stuff like that. And then
They weren't pounding.
they'd go away. Yeah, they weren't. They weren't preaching. You know, they
Okay.
just got, you know,
Not preaching, but maybe encouraging still.
Yeah.
encouraging. So
And when we go home, we were always invited, like, hey,
Yeah.
there's a singing, do you remember so-and-so? And, you know, Leroy Henry or whomever, and we'd go back home and go to a singing or something. It's like, yeah, we're
And so it
really
just kinda-
missing out.
got us back into the desire. You know,
Yeah.
of,
Well, it's so cool to learn about these stories. And like I always say, this podcast is meant to launch conversations. So if I'm missing something that's obvious here, you guys talk to Lee and Leroy about it. But right now, this has been so helpful to me, because when I see your guys' hospitality, like where we started with 1 Peter 4, or the way you talk about your faith, I see someone as very seasoned Christians, and you guys mentioned it's been about 8 years since we plugged in last. It just wouldn't be something I expected. So the time, the years don't really matter much when you've got hearts that want to serve and love God, and that is just so well seen in the two of you. So thank you for your example.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
We've made it to everyone's favorite section of the podcast where we talk about favorites, either or both of you guys, just a favorite verse or a favorite hymn that we sing. If you want to share something like that, please share it now.
Go ahead.
Mine has to be Philippians 4, 6 and 7.
Nice.
It is do not, I don't know word for word because I'm just so pathetic.
You're not pathetic. We're going to cut that.
Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. And you asked us this question last time, and I really couldn't answer. And then I thought, well, wait, there's this one, and I have learned it through our experience with Melanie. And it was like, the more anxious I would get, I just found myself remembering that if I would stop and just give it to God, it really was helpful. And that's definitely my favorite, and that will be my go-to for the rest of my life, for sure.
Yeah, and when I say a favorite, it kind of cheapens it. But when you say go-to, that's so strong. Like a go-to verse. When those hard times come, you say, what do I go to? Be anxious for nothing. The peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart. That's worth knowing. I love that.
We couldn't have got through the Melanie thing without that.
Yeah.
It was difficult times, yeah.
Yeah, and we were going to, I don't want to make that a conversation on the podcast,
that's good.
but it's good that
No,
you
no.
have that verse. You say, the hardest of times,
Yeah,
we can go
exactly.
here.
Exactly.
No, God will guard me. Good. Leroy, what do you got?
As far as favorite,
Favorite, if you want to share.
there's a lot of verses, but the one that just really hits home to me is Ecclesiastes 3,
Yeah.
1 through 8. Just, it just keeps me humble.
Yeah, to everything there is a season.
Yeah.
And that is humbling.
Yeah, so.
Joy, happiness, sadness.
Sadness, yeah.
There are different seasons. It's going to come and it's going to go. And that can be peaceful. To know it's a season of life right now.
Yeah, it's nothing is definitely not permanent here.
As we wrap up here, a season you just went through is a season with a cast. And we recorded this the first time right before you had that surgery. And then life just kind of got more difficult for you guys, for Leroy specifically. How is your hand doing now?
Yeah, it's many times better, but it's still got a few quirks.
Few quirks, okay.
Like I think this has caused an onset of the arthritis.
Arthritis, okay.
Premature arthritis because
Oh.
it's just my knuckles.
Those sort of symptoms are already...
Yeah. So
That's hard. But the surgery did help.
yeah, oh yeah. At least I could get gloves put before it was like that, so I could not put on glove. I had trouble washing my hair.
Yeah. You're like, wait a second. This,
Yeah, because
they're not moving like they're supposed to.
yeah, it doesn't. You can't get to your head with your scalp with that finger like that.
If it's not working.
Yeah.
So you can do that now.
I can do that now. I am definitely thankful that I had it done, but I just wish that it would go ahead and finish healing up now.
Yeah, go back to perfect. Yeah.
Michelle Turner has helped me out some too.
Oh, good. Just physical therapy.
Well, what to do for physical therapy, but the regimen of medications like Tylenol and ibuprofen and stuff like
Just kind of helping you, like what to take, when to take.
Yeah.
See, now that's brings us all the way back to 1 Peter 4. That's
She's
her
sharing
skill.
her talents
There you
again.
go.
She's sharing her talents.
Sharing her talents.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
And that's what makes a church family work. We've got different people with different talents. I wouldn't be able to help you in that. That would be dangerous for me to start helping you medicine-wise. But she can. And now your life is better because of it. What a blessing the church family is. And you can probably hear him right now. We're right up against the clock for Bible class time. Yeah, we just get talking. And what a great time it was. Thank you again for sharing your thoughts and being vulnerable with us. And what a blessing it is for everyone we've had on this season. And again, it's not about any one specific person or one specific podcast. It's about a culture of caring for one another and considering one another. So thanks for letting us consider you guys today.
Thank
Well, thank you,
very
Will.
much. Thank you. We're so grateful to have you here.
We're grateful to
Seriously.
be here. Thank you
We're
for
so
saying that.
thankful.
What a blessing. That's the family of Christ. Thanks for
That's how
saying
we
that.
feel about having you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Bible tells us to consider one another in order to stir up love and good works in each other. So thank you for stirring up love and good works in me just by listening to this episode.
We got some squiggly lines going on there.
Yeah, those squiggly lines mean something. I mean, it's working at least, so that's good.